Did any of you hear banjo music today? If so, you're probably a bluegrass music fan or have experienced the assimilation of bluegrass music into popular culture. Bluegrass music, since its founding, has mainly been an underground genre and throughout the years gained popularity among popular culture. Today I'll inform you of how bluegrass gained its popularity. By the conclusion of this speech, you will know the history of bluegrass and its creation, the implementation of bluegrass in mainstream media, and modern aspects of bluegrass in pop culture. We will start by looking back into the music of Appalachia and how mountain music was forged into bluegrass. Bluegrass is derived from collaborations within old-time mountain people and influence from settlers afar. Traditional or old-time music has been around since the settlement of the mountains. This is where the roots of bluegrass music began. Instrumentation was often self-taught or learned by trade amongst acquaintances. See, people would come over and settlers would bring their musical influence to the mountain people. They in turn would learn and trade tunes and experience each other's songs, and it was all one thing and usually played on a single instrument such as a fiddle. In bluegrass music there's things such as fiddle tunes. This are those tunes, and they can be played on multiple instruments, however mainly are derived from Celtic style music. Songs began with basic melodies and generally on one instrument. Lyrics were added to popular melodies later in the timeline of existence. Traditional songs and compositions were shared among musicians of different genre backgrounds. This led to the formation of a band setting, and with progression was deemed bluegrass by Bill Monroe in the late 1930s. This was all sourced from Smith L. Main, An Introduction to Bluegrass, the Journal of American Folklore, pages 245 through 256. Gaining vast popularity and riding the coattails of country music, bluegrass gained national popularity. Bluegrass festivals, radio, and TV became a household experience. Fans across the nation and even abroad demanded more of this new style called bluegrass. Suddenly, shows such as Hee Haw and The Porter Wagoner Show implemented bluegrass in every episode. This elevated bluegrass to the tops of the mainstream media charts. Festivals were a major part of bluegrass music due to inexpensive tickets for multiple bands. Many radio broadcasts produced the festivals live on their radio programs. Television broadcasts inspired many viewers to become fans of bluegrass and to crave it in its full form. These people also began learning the music and learning instruments, making bluegrass a common part of the American household. This cultivated the popularity in the nation, and it wasn't rare to see bluegrass topping mainstream charts. That was paraphrased, sourced by Rosenberg Neal V. from Sound to Style, The Emergence of Bluegrass, the Journal of American Folklore, pages 143 through 50. Although bluegrass was at one time a largely popular form of music, its reign dwindled around the turn of the century. Technology broadened, and the way we create music changed. Bluegrass seemed to be left alone. That is until a film titled Oh Brother, Where Art Thou hit the box office with amazing success. Since its release, bluegrass has reared its head several times in modern pop culture. Bluegrass itself is still a thriving genre. As a bluegrass musician, I love the music and hope to play it as long as I can. With that being said, it's foolish to think that the music can't evolve, or hasn't evolved. Modern bluegrass soaks interest from every genre, and several genres utilize bluegrass instrumentation. Bluegrass in its traditional form is played in a more simple manner, while modern bluegrass tends to be more technically played. This evolved the sound of what we call bluegrass, yet still pays respect to the traditional values. Bluegrass tends to be a popular genre among pop culture. It can be heard in songs such as Cotton Eye Joe, the dance remix, or Two Heads, a modern pop song. Many movies implement bluegrass banjo to portray a hillbilly air. Some examples are Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, Lawless, etc. Styles of bluegrass are influenced by many modern forms of music such as jazz, funk, rock, blues, and country. Bluegrass is evolving and will continue from within itself. This is sourced from Gardner R.O., The Portable Community, Mobility and Modernization in Bluegrass Festival Life. And source 2, Richard A. Peterson, The Production of Cultural Change. In conclusion, bluegrass had its time in the limelight and continues to make cameo appearances in pop culture and mainstream entertainment. It is inevitable that it is a vital genre to our nation, and I believe we will see it in the spotlight once again. In review, we know that bluegrass gained its popularity and maintained its ground by being a family-oriented genre and exposing vast musical influence to its followers. It is a classic genre that will continue to be seen among our culture. Bluegrass is derived from old-time music, and the term bluegrass was coined by Bill Monroe, who is deemed the father of bluegrass. Bluegrass gained its popularity through radio and TV throughout the 60s, 70s, and 80s. This is how it gained national and international popularity. Modern bluegrass uses influence from other growing genres and is still utilized in pop culture today. Bluegrass music can never die due to its deeply planted roots in American history. The sound of a bluegrass band is a unique one, and I hope everyone can enjoy the sounds of the mountains on a larger scale one day. Until then, we should paddle faster because I hear banjo music.